Greetings and salutations. Today, the Order is here to discuss troubling news surrounding claims that NASA has been spotted at Bohemian Grove, the origin of a satanic cult. The claims regard the occurrence seeing representatives of the NASA organization formulating a circle pattern originating what appears to be a ritual which summons the entity Baphomet. Bohemian Grove is the location of the head of the Satanic Order. Anton LaVey and Aleister Crowley are representatives of Bohemian Grove. They maintain the orders, they maintain the status quo at that location. It is today that I sadly announce that representatives of NASA were spotted regarding information to Bohemian Grove representatives of what appeared to be a type of transcription. The information retained from the hacking modulator reads that NASA turned over a list of test subjects to Bohemian Grove for what it termed interstellar research. It is implausible that NASA organization would retain a coordinated affiliation with this order. The equations stated on the report simply are not factually correct to the original reports. Here is research from WordPress.com, The Occult Roots of NASA and the Ongoing Fraud. This post has been cobbled together from a number of places as the original website is no longer available. I wanted to recreate this article by the modern Gnostic, that is the modern Gnostic, because I found it a valuable resource to direct people to when explaining the glorious roots of the Church of NASA. Enjoy. The modern Gnostic. In my lexicon, NASA stands for Never a Straight Answer. If you ever happen to start poking around NASA and the Apollo moon landings, a keen eye and open mind will bring you to the conclusion that this was a staged hoax. In fact, the pure hard scientific evidence and analysis irrevocably reveals the fraud among many. Think about that. The greatest feat accomplished by man is an elaborate Hollywood production that cost the million taxpayer a cool $30 billion. Imagine what James Cameron could create with a budget like that. To be frank, it pisses me off more than NASA is built to be. Hoax and misinformation. The American taxpayer derives virtually no benefit from NASA's existence, and allegedly scientific contributions derived by supposed collaborations and experiments in space, absent of any other sources to verify. We had to prostrate ourselves to the so-called experts, despite irrefutable evidence that NASA is nothing more than an elaborate financial embezzler and pseudoscientist. The focus of this first page of a series is based on a principle that is indefensible if you are caught. Fraud mediates everything it touches. Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, already a 33rd degree Freemason, the world head of the OTO, took action that increased Parsons' stature in the order. Circa 1943 to 1944, convinced Smith via a paper entitled Is Smith a God? That astrological research had shown that Smith was not a man, but actually an incarnation of some deity. Taking the hint that Crowley wanted him out, the god went into private magical practice, eventually with reportedly rewarding results, remaining head of the lodge in name only. Here is research from supercluster.com. Aleister Crowley taught that a Thelemite's central ambition was to achieve a higher state of existence by embracing one's true will, or one's ultimate purpose beyond selfishness or ego. In pursuit of that goal, many of Parsons' life blurred the boundaries between science and mysticism. As a Thelemite, he performed a magic ritual, including banishing impure with pentagrams, invocating the power of Holy Guardian Angel, and offerings daily adorations to the sun. Most of their experiments increasingly ended in violent explosions that terrified neighboring Caltech academics so much the three researchers were nicknamed the Suicide Squad. Next section, Strange Angel. With funding from the federal government, at the request of their Caltech peers, the group relocated to Arroyo Seca to investigate the possibility of Jato in those hot, musty sheds made from corrugated iron. The Jet Propulsion Lab was born. There, Parsons would invent the first rocket engine to use castable composite propellant, a mixture of fuel that allowed rockets to harness enough force to finally make it to space. Here is a research from NASA.gov, the official NASA website. Section: A Devil on Mars. Like dust devils on Earth, Martian dust devils spontaneously form when heated air rises from the surface and mixes with pockets of cold air above. Scientists estimate the winds generated by these whirling vortices can exceed 45 miles per hour. Dust devils are common occurrences on Mars and were first imagined by NASA Viking mission in the 1970s. This research is troubling to citizens. The implications of this research could be problematic for citizens. If test subjects find themselves within the invocation chamber, the propulsion laboratory, they may find that there are irredeemable unknowns that they may face. Now that you know this information, what will you do about it?